Morning, weirdos. Are we here yet? I don't know what's going on, man. Let's see. I'm gonna turn the stereo off because the stereo likes to come on when I turn on the stuff. I feel like some smoky smokes this morning. Smoky smoke. Gonna smoky smoke. Some incense. You guys like my shirt? Sticky Mickey. It's totally cute. All right. Good morning, all. I check my microphone here. Can anyone hear me? Wow, that's cool. What is this? Oh, that's too much. There we go. So, here we are again this morning on this beautiful day. Don't you know it's just a wonderful day? So, I said I was going to come here with some kind of early programming for Monday night. I was wrong. I was totally wrong. A few things came up yesterday, kept me from doing all that stuff I want to do when I want to do what I want to do, because life has a way of getting in the way of life. So there's that. So I didn't get the van emptied out. Uh, I didn't get my cameras set up for a test. It just was way too much. Just way too much. You know what I did do is I trimmed my beard. Look at that. I trimmed up my face a little bit, shortened my chin. Totally. Oh, coffee, coffee, coffee. Any other coffee drinkers out there this morning? Ah, yeah, baby. Oh, baby. You know what I like? Man, 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 man. Uh, totally, man. It's like, man. Totally, man. Yeah. 6 reactions. Wow. Somebody's all over Facebook. Yeah. Totally. Totally. So let's see. Uh, after the show, my wife and I made breakfast, biscuits and gravy and sausage. Was that today? Was that yesterday? No, yesterday was yeah, biscuits and gravy and sausage. Of course, last night we brought home bacon, so we had some form of bacon yesterday. Baked potato. That was it. For dinner, we had baked potatoes with bacon and sour cream. So yeah, breakfast meats for breakfast meats for dinner. What did I have for lunch? Did I even have lunch? Lord knows I try, but not real hard. Because when it comes to food, eh, I'm not really a big fan anymore. So like, check out my shirt. I got my Mickey Mouse shirt on. Isn't that cool? It's, it goes a little dance. Totally. I like this one because it kind of reminds me of the Mickey Mouse shirt that Emilio Estevez wore on The Outsiders, right? I can't remember what they called him on The Outsiders, but he always wore that Mickey Mouse shirt. It's probably the only cool shirt that he owned, right? I just remember him in that scene sitting down in the living room, watching Mickey Mouse on TV, eating that big giant chocolate cake. It was like such a Little Rascals moment in that movie, The Outsiders. Totally. Totally. And when I refer to the Little Rascals, I mean the Little Rascals. Hal Roach, uh, Our Gang, Alfalfa, Darla, Spanky, the original gang. Yeah. Because that's totally like where my head is at. Mm. Hey, good morning, Joey. What's going on? I got a little bit of a different angle here this morning. I I so that I was going to do something different. So I thought, all right, well, I'm not going to do this camera angle here. Maybe I'll give you a little more shot of my my space here, so like this is my space, and I've got like more records over here. This X section over here is my comedy, old time radio shows, that stuff on this side of that dark block there. So I've got like four of these big squares with movie themes, comedy, that kind of crap. Or oh, geez, Louise. So yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot yesterday, and once again, I napped. What I realized is that I'm not going to be getting enough sleep. So the afternoon naps, that's just going to become, I think, a permanent thing. Because if I'm going to get up at like 4:20 to do this every morning, and I'm only going to sleep at like 11 or midnight, well, I'm just not getting enough sleep. So I have to take a nap during the day in order to get that extra couple of hours. Um, yeah, it's a split shift, but what are you going to do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I had to go in and shake my beard at my daughter last night. She said, "Oh, it looks good." Ooh, ooh, it looks good. Does it? I'm reaching, scrounging, begging for some kind of, what do you call it? Uh, you know, validation, right? That's it. Am I good? Do I look okay? Is there, is there something about me that you like, dear? Yeah, I like to get high. Ah, shit, he's going there again. Leave him alone. Yeah, childproof containers for my pot. You don't give a stoner childproof container when he's stoned. I guess it'd save him on weed, right? Yeah. So let's see. um, Last night we did some more exploring with Barnaby Jones. Barnaby Jones, Quentin Martin production. Arr. Man, I can't get enough of that Lee Merriweather. You know, she's just she's so cool. I mean, I thought she was really cool on the Time Tunnel, you know, uh, but she is just wickedly awesome on this show. She doesn't get to do enough. I mean, she's second banana to, um, the original Tin Man. I mean, it, the guy the guy takes the show away every single time. She like gets a few minutes here, a few minutes there, but when she's on camera, man, boy, she steals the show. I can't get enough of that Lee Merriweather. Mm, mm, mm. And she's got such an infectious smile and laugh. She's just so cute. I wonder if she's even still alive. My goodness. If she is, she's got to be in her freaking 70s or 80s or something, right? Let's just find out. You get those stupid videos where they'll point the camera at something and go, "Oh my God, what is that?" And it's a thimble laying on a Dixie cup or something. And it's like, dude, what the hell? Or something as simple as like a sand dollar on the beach, and they'll be like, what is that? What is this magical mystery? It's like, dude, you got a fucking phone in your hand. Pick up the phone, take a picture of it, look at it, go, oh, that's what it is. You take a picture. Oh, I just get sick of these fucking stupid videos. Stupid fucking videos. What is what is it's a fucking jellyfish, man. That's a jellyfish. Um, yeah. Oh man. And if you pick up your phone, take a picture of it, you'll find out that it's a jellyfish, and you'll also find out what kind of jellyfish it is and why it's on the beach. But no, you're gonna make a video and go, "What is that, dude? Oh my God!" It's your lack of intelligence shining through. Is what it is. My goodness. Merriweather, Lee Merriweather. My God, she's 88 years old, and she's still got a beautiful smile. Wow. She was the Miss America 1955. I believe. That I believe. That is very, very cool. What happened to Lee Mather? What happened to her? She retired, you know? Oh, that's right. She did a Catwoman on the original Batman series. Ooh. Uh, oh, she was also married to Andy Griffith on the Andy Griffith Show. That's cool. Angel in My Pocket. I'm not familiar with that movie. Yeah. She was in Star Trek too. Oh, right. I believe she popped up as one of those girls in the short skirt shirts, right? Short skirts. Totally. I betcha. I betcha. Hottie from the 60s. 1955 Miss America. Mm-mm-mm. And that girl on Wipeout. Right? Who's that girl on Wipeout? Oh, man. Female co-host of Wipeout. They're Jill Wagner, right? So Jill Wagner, she's got uh, kind of a Lee Merriweather face. Almost thought they were related, right? I was going from watching Wipeout to watching Barnaby Jones, from one to the other, and I'm like, dude, these girls are very, very similar. They're very, very similar. Similar. I wonder. I bet she won some beauty pageants. Yeah, I like it totally. Totally. She was a cast member on the series Punked. Get out of the town here, clown. Oh, really? She was in the TV series Blade. Get out of here. No way. Well, huh. Will Jagner. Will Jagner. It's her male alter ego. So, like, what's going on, people? Peeps. Peeps. Take it easy, Mickey. Take it easy there, Mickey. Arr. Well, we don't have a sun coming through the window behind us. Well, nobody's perfect, yeah. I'll let you know when the sun's coming up because it'll be going right here, blasting me in the face. Yeah. So, like, okay. All right. So, like, I grabbed a few things out of the van yesterday. I grabbed my batteries. My third camera showed up yesterday. Third, meaning the third one of these Bell and Howell DV cameras. Uh, so full HD camcorder. This one came without a battery, a memory card, without a cable. It came with nothing. It came with this inside of this bag, stuffed into a barely padded envelope. I was really upset when they handed me this envelope with this thing bouncing around inside of there. And I was really surprised when I turned it on and it worked. Uh, In fact, I put a battery in it, charged a battery yesterday, and I think it was an old battery. So, yeah, wonder how long this battery will last. And then we'll turn it off, close it up. So I'll use this camera and the other two Bell and Howell cameras for live. That'll give me three cameras. Better to mix with three cameras than two, right? So there's that. I'm also going to free up some memory on one of these hard drives so I can record everything Monday night. Uh, yeah. So the only thing is that I'm going to need to free up little toe. I'm going to need to free up one of these hard drives, mainly because I don't want it to get corrupted and lose the information that's on there. It probably is going to need to be uh, what you call it. I hate those words. Fucking those words, man. They always bug me. It's got to be formatted, possibly. So if it's going to have to be formatted, it'll lose everything that's on the disk. So I'm going to have to pull everything off of the disk, put it onto my other hard drive, and free up the smaller hard drive for recording. And yeah, that should be pretty awesome. Let's see. Talk to the wife about starting some house painting projects on the outside. And the plan was to get it done before it got too hot. Of course, it's getting pretty hot already. But like everywhere I go, it's hot, especially when I get there. Shut up, Mickey. Keep Mickey straight. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with the way this turned out. I was watching every time I click on my YouTube channel, I got my face is blasted up at me from some of my videos, right? And the face that kept blasting up at me had a slightly trimmed beard, and I was like, you know what, that doesn't look half bad. Maybe I'll do that again. And I had been, like for weeks and months now, have been thinking, all right, I got to get in there and trim up my beard and make it look presentable. Um, I hate doing that mainly because it hurts. I don't like to get into the regular habit of going into the bathroom and doing this because it just hurts my neck to look up. Um, and it did hurt. I was in there for about, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes, hacking and chopping and cutting, starting up the chainsaw and the weed whacker and stuff. Um, I like it when it's bushy like this, so I had to spend some time in there trying to bush it up. I had to get it all hot water wet and then blow dry it out so that I could whack it down, and then brush it out and blow dry it out again and keep poofing it out so that I could get a good sculpting on it. Uh, the only bummer is that people are going to think that I'm social, right? And usually with the old scraggly beard with hairs, a 3 foot hair hanging out of it gets crazy looking, and it keeps people away from me. Nobody wants to talk to some crazy guy who can't even trim the hair on his face, right? And that's a good thing. I like to keep that wall there. So this will shorten that wall there a little bit. It won't be as high. Uh, like Wilson on the other side of the fence. You'll be able to see my eyes. So let's see what is on the agenda. I guess the weekend is on the agenda. The Morongo Days music festival is happening, and it's an all day, all night thing for 2 days. Um, if I know that if I go down there, um, I'm just going to stay there until it's over. That's kind of how I do things. Get the most out of stuff, you know. Uh, I don't know that I want to do that. I'm probably going to go down later tomorrow evening and try not to worry so much about seeing every single act there. Um, I don't know what Bush has got planned for the manana. Um, now when I'm out here and I think about music, I first and foremost think about, you know, the music and whatever art there's, are they doing like breathing or didgeridoo or something, So I really get into the actual performing thing. But the other side of that is um, trying to make a connection with people so that at some point I can have a lot of people on tap to do things like, you know what, we've got this open mic night thing. Why don't you come out, hang out, and try that? You know what? I do this live show occasionally where I interview people and let them do their stuff, and we try to spread the word. You know, so if I can get out there and do this on occasion and network with people, that's probably the most important thing. And then, of course, the topper is just trying to avoid depression, trying to keep busy, trying to stay active. Because for so many decades I was inactive and I was just a lump, just a bloody fucking lump. It's just a lump. Is he a lump? They call him Lumpkin. Yeah, lump. Lumpy. Hello, Lumpy. So let's see. I'm not going to take any more ibuprofen. Oh, no, I just don't. It's just a nasty, nasty thing to put into your stomach and your liver. So I'm not taking any more ibuprofen. I'm just going to finish off this amoxicillin because that's the most important thing. So totally. Good morning, everybody. I can hear the birds waking up out there. It's really neat because they wake up so early around here because of the temperature. It gets warm really quick. So sometimes in the morning before the sun comes up, before the sky even starts to get light, you can start to hear those birds out there just getting fanatical, right? And it's the temperature changes. They wake up when it gets warmer, you know, and they're all buzzing around, chirping and burping. The neat thing is when you can hear them running across the roof because it's a mobile home, so I got a metal roof, right? So they're constantly, or you'll hear a bunch of them scuffling around. Or the other day I was out here, and one of the little birds that made a nest in our awning, they make nests up in the awning rain gutter, right? Uh, and I'm not going to shoo them away. I mean, everybody's got to have a home, right? So like I'm inside the laundry shed and I can hear the thing on the roof and I'm like, what the hell? It sounds like a freaking crow. I mean, it sounds like this huge bird. And I look out and it's just a little tiny jay. It's just, one of them little itty bitty birds. You know? Ah, yeah, I dig them birdies. Them little birdies. Birdie. Birdie. Was that Nicolas Cage and Matt? What was that guy's name? Played the professor father guy of 11 on Stranger Things. Oh, he's got a weird name, damn it. I hate it when that happens, He's just got a weird name. He's the captain in the movie. Um, Oh, the though the plane. The shit. There I go. Drink some more coffee. That'll help. Hmm. Ah, yeah. That movie about the plane, the B-52, the last flight, or the B-17. I think it was B-17. Yeah. Uh, Bodine, Matthew Bodine. That's his name. See, I had to just go full circle, right, and come back to one of his movies. Matthew Bodine. Well, there's him and Nicolas Cage in that movie Birdie from the 1980s about a Vietnam vet who goes out to Vietnam, comes back, and his friends Cookie does birds up on the roof. I think it's in like New Jersey or New York or something. I haven't seen the movie in like forever, but yeah, Matthew Bodine. He's kind of a he's kind of an unusual guy. Uh, fantastic, fantastic in Full Metal Jacket, right, as the Joker. Uh, just fan. In fact, Full Metal Jacket. There's that guy in there that plays Tex or Montana or Jersey or the guy Cowboy. That's him, Cowboy. And I just watched him in a movie called Body Double from the '80s. Brian De Palma movie. Um, oh, what's her name? One of them blonde girls from back then. Uh, weird movie. Brian De Palma had a way of making, you know, weird movies out of a great script, great story, you know, and then he'll take it and do a Brian De Palma twist on it. Um, one of my favorite Brian De Palma movies, of course, is Carrie with Sissy Spacek, John Travolta. Um, but one of my favorite Brian De Palma movies um, has just escaped me. Oh, that's it. It's got John Travolta in it, and it's about sound, the audio guy. Uh, man, I hate it when a word or something comes into your head and then just you chase it away by trying to explain what it is you're going to say, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Right? Something out, something um, blowout. That's the name of the movie. The title has nothing to do with sound or audio, but the guy's an audio technician who captures sound to use in movies as a Foley guy. But, after they make a movie, they take it to the studio and they put extra sound in, replace sound, do that kind of stuff. So he's out recording sound, point his microphone at a bridge, listening to cars go by and the birds and the trees and everything. And this car comes across the bridge and swerves and crashes, and and it turns out that it's not a blowout. It's not a tire that blows out, but in the sound, you can just make out a rifle shooting one of the tires out. And of course, the guy in the car, I think, is like a senator or something, right? So it's this big ordeal, about. But it's a great movie. It's a great Brian De Palma movie. Very suspenseful, uh, really heavy drama for John Travolta. Uh, Coming off of Saturday Night Fever and Carrie and all of those things. And it was, for me, it was the first movie that John Travolta did where he wasn't just doing uh, a version of Vinnie Barbarino, right? Hey, Vinnie Barbarino from Welcome Back, Kotter. He had started to transition into a dramatic actor, and that was cool about the movie Blowout by Brian De Palma is that he actually started to become an actor in this, and he wasn't just being some punk kid mugging for the camera, yo baby, yo. Of course, I believe he went to Juilliard, didn't he? I believe he went to the same school that Val Kilmer and a lot of actors went to over there in New York. Hey, if anybody's there who knows more about this, please let me know. But I believe he went to Juilliard. And then, of course, after Travolta got busy in Hollywood, we started to see his mother, Ellen Travolta, pop up a lot in the TV, a lot as a little, mom, sister-in-law, aunt. She was always popping up. Some weird lady. But Ellen Travolta, she came about. Now, I don't even know if John Travolta has any siblings, right? I don't, I don't, I don't know, man. It's like I never knew that there was a Frank Stallone, right? Yeah. Does John Travolta have a brother? Is there a Lenny Barbarino out there somewhere? Now, there's a place I'd like to go. I'd like to go to Disneyland. What do you want to go to Disneyland for? Because I was born and raised in California, and it's a part of our culture here to go to Disneyland. Graduations, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, whatever. I mean, there's always a reason to go to Disneyland and hang out. I have friends here in Southern California that can attest to that. Um, that any time is really the right time to go hang out at Disneyland, downtown Disney, California Adventure. Yes, it can get crowded, but have you been to Walmart lately? There ain't no roller coasters at Walmart, yet there's people standing in lines a mile long there just to get out of the fucking store, right? And there's another thing that burns me up, right? Is having to check out of a store just so that you could check out of a store. It's like, lady, I stood in this line to get to a machine so I can scan my own shit, right? Because I don't want to stand in front of a line where some checker is having a conversation with every single person and they just stand there going, oh yeah, and like my kids, and like they're, oh that's right, I'm working, and like, okay, so like my kid, oh like I'm working, right? And they have these long drawn out conversations with every single person that passes in front of their freaking check stand. So I go and I check myself out, right? And I got to stand in a line that's 10 people deep just to get to a machine so I can scan my own shit, right? And then I'm supposed to bag my own stuff and then stop so that some lazy ass slovenly fucking checker with an unkept freaking clothing can harass me as I'm leaving the store. Hey, I want to see a receipt. It's like, you know what? You want to see my receipt? Call me a fucking thief, chase me outside, and tackle me the fuck down if you want to see it. I paid for my shit. I'm not gonna fucking go through Gestapo fucking tactics every time I want to leave the store. It's bad enough that on your way out, if you don't stop in line and show them your receipt, that they give you that, thank you, have a good day. Like, it's not my fault, okay, that there are several states in this country where you can't go into a Walmart without being treated like a criminal because the the shoplifting is so out of control, right? They come into these poor neighborhoods and they bring everything that you want in your entire life and they put it in a store, but then they say, you ain't wealthy enough to have any of this. Well, I'm just a homeless guy, but I want some of that stuff. So of course people are gonna come in and they're gonna take what they fucking want because, you know, let me see, fucking pandering to corporate bullshit or surviving. I'm gonna take surviving. When I was a kid, when I was a homeless teenager, all right, I would walk into Target, take off my old crappy shoes, put on new fucking shoes, and walk the fuck out of the store. Why? Because I wasn't stealing from mom and pop. I wasn't stealing from an individual. I was stealing from a corporate entity, right? I had no trouble walking into a major supermarket chain, stuffing a fucking pack of hamburger in my pants, and going into the bathroom and stealing some cigarettes out of a pack and then destroying the pack, right? You did what you had to do. And if it meant you against corporate bullshit's gonna fucking lose because I'm gonna survive and I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to survive, you know? So, yeah, so there's that. So, if you're gonna try to tackle me on the way out of Walmart because you're gonna assume that everybody coming through your store is a thief, fuck you. Tackle me then. Tackle the fuck out of me. Call the goddamn cops. If you wanna see my receipt, follow me to my fucking car and look for it while I'm walking in my bag because that's where the fuck it is. If you want it, you dig it the fuck out and you look for it. I'm not gonna stand in line behind 20 people trying to leave the store just so that you can feel all good and warm and cozy about, somebody not stealing your shit. You got fucking cameras everywhere. Put somebody in front of a fucking camera and have them watch. All right. Scan the shit as it leaves the fucking store. You got enough electronics. Why do you have to have a person in charge? All right. I mean, people see these fucking haranguers with their little scan. I need to scan. I need to scan. Let me see your receipt. I need to scan it. You see those people out in the neighborhood, out at another supermarket. You see them out in town and you're like, "Oh, you're that fucking receipt scanner, you fucking bitch. You're the one that won't let me leave the store when I'm in a hurry." You know? No, it's not them. It's corporate bullshit, and it's your own fucking stupidity and your own fucking cowardness for standing in that fucking line. Well, they're just doing their job. No, 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 no. What they're doing is they're doing a job on you. Because every time this happens, you're a little bit closer to falling into another line and falling into, this skinny little fucking corridor that they want you to walk through. And I ain't fucking going for that. You're not gonna turn me into some cowardly little fucking snivelly little fucking, "Can I do this, please? Am I allowed to do this now? Can I go over? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I'll stay over here. I won't touch anything." Fuck you, you know? Give me a fucking break. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. No fucking way. You wanna see my receipt when I leave Walmart? Fucking tackle me. Say, "Hey, you're a thief," and then we'll fucking go further. I'll call the fucking cops. This son of a bitch followed me out of the store screaming and yelling at me that he wants to see my fucking receipt. I paid for my shit, you know? It's not my fucking fault that, you know, you go to fucking wherever it is, fucking Georgia or Texas or fucking Los Angeles, and people are ripping you off left and right. Not my fucking fault. Okay, you're not gonna lump me into that fucking category just to make it easier on securing your goods. Fuck you. How dare you put all this shit in the fucking neighborhood, come to the fucking community, wipe out a half dozen or a dozen mom and pop stores so that you can sell your fucking made in China fucking bullshit, right? And then, and then not help the community at all. And not only that, but not give the people who work there enough hours to survive so that they have to go on welfare and be on food stamps themselves and go to another store and stuff a steak down their pants so they can fucking eat. Fuck you, Walmart, and your goddamn corporate greed and your "Let me see your receipt, please." Fuck you. It's in the bag. Yesterday. Ladies, I need to see your receipt. It's in the bag. Have a nice day. And I walked the fuck out, you know, flat out. You wanna see my receipt? Call me a thief. Call a cop. I'll show him my fucking receipt and prove to him that I'm not a thief. But you're gonna have to call me a thief first. And if you can't do that, you ain't gonna see my fucking receipt. I got dogs to let out, coffee to warm up. I'll be right back. I'm going to mute my thing here. Uh, did I switch the setting? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't cotton to these new fucking fangled bullshit fucking corporate rules, corporate greed, you know, treat us like fucking cattle, like, we ain't beholden to them. The world, all this corporation, all this government bullshit, they're all beholden to us. And that's where people are confused, you know. They think, oh, we've got to fall in line and we got to do what they tell us to do. The corporations, the police, the lawyers, the judges, the lawmakers, the politicians, the government, local, state, federal. We don't have to do what they tell us to do. They have to do what we tell them to do. And we have fallen short on our side of the deal. So short that now they're in control and we just follow along like a bunch of fucking goddamn marionettes. Do what you want. I'll just, here I go. What do you want me to do? I'll do anything. I'm an idiot, you know? And they've got us so wrapped up in possessions, right? They've got us so wrapped up in fakery, you know, where we're going to share our lives with everybody on social media, but it's all bullshit. Everything that people share is so fucking fake. Not everybody. The majority of the people are sharing fake bullshit so that they can make themselves look better, because they look in the mirrors and they see themselves and they go, oh my gosh, I need this and I need that and I need to add this and I need to take this away and I need to have these things around me and I need to look like that. Why? So that they can please everybody else, you know. Uh, and I don't do that no more. I don't do that. I got so sick of worrying about everybody else's feelings and to hell with my own, right? Literally, after decades and decades of depression, I realized that it's because I wasn't worried about myself. I was worried about how everybody else felt, how everybody else was feeling, how everybody else saw me. I didn't look at myself through my own eyes. I looked at myself through everybody else's eyes, you know. And once you realize that, you're the only one that you got to please, it becomes easier to make those around you happier, you know. It really does. Uh, I think I'm getting along better here at home with my family than I've ever. Than it's better than it's ever been. Why? Because I don't. If I'm happy, I'm happy. If I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm mad, I'm mad. I don't hold back. I don't pretend that something's not going on when it is. If I get pissed off at something, I let somebody know, and then I move the fuck on. You know, if I don't deal with it right then, I can't move the fuck on. It hangs there with me like a big fucking cloud, like an Eeyore cloud for rainy day following me around. and the cloud just gets bigger the more that I hold back, you know. So I just let it all. I just let it rip, just let it all out, you know. And it's not like damn the consequences, The consequences are that somebody may be offended if I let it out, but is that supposed to mean that I'm not allowed to be offended and therefore I should just hold my feelings in and make it okay for them to not be offended? I'm offended, but I don't want to make them offended. So I'm going to, you know, no, no. If you have offended me, you're usually going to find out about it pretty quick. Unless I'm in a really good mood, and then I'll probably let it slide. Um, I mean, all my life, people have had no trouble giving me shit about every little fucking thing that I do, right? And I just hold it, yes, okay, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, whatever you say. Yes, boss. Oh boy, ain't gonna do that no more, man. And I'm not, because you know, ultimately I'm the one that suffers, because all of that shit just builds up, builds up, builds up. And then the big bummer is that then the people closest to me have to eventually suffer because if I don't let it all out every single time while it's happening and I build that shit up, at some point I'm going to pop. I'm going to explode. I'm going to fucking rage about the stupidest little fucking thing because I feel like nobody listens. Nobody hears me, you know. Uh, it's like saying, well, it was your fault or you did it or I told you so, or I'm always telling you, well, maybe you shouldn't always be telling. Maybe you shouldn't say, I told you so, you know. These are the things, you do these little things and they're just little things, but you keep dropping these little things into a bucket. And pretty soon you got a whole giant bucket full of these little fucking things and you can't get rid of it. They just keep filling up quicker and quicker, you know. So and it's not like, okay, like most people, instead of filling up a bucket with all that bullshit, they fill up like a colander, a strainer, right? And as much as it's filling up, it's draining out, right? And that's just water off a duck's back. Just let it go, man. It's all right. Just let it go. Well, some people can't let it go. Some people it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and then they walk into the post office and take down all of their coworkers, right? Or go in and take down a bunch of people eating Big Macs at a McDonald's. So holding it back is not an option anymore, you know. And it allows me to go out into public and not freak out on random people for them doing the normal stupid bullshit that they're accustomed to doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I fuck with you? I'm just used to fucking with everything, you know. And it's those kind of people who can really suffer if I don't let it all out all the time, you know, because you get these fucking morons. And I just feel like, you know what? You need to be told you're a fucking moron. You can't go through your entire fucking life acting the fucking fool and just expect to get away with it. I'm just a fool and everybody's going to come along behind me and sweep up after me. Let's clean up after this fool. And, oh, geez, this poor fool, fuck that. If you're a fucking idiot, this guy's going to tell you you're a fucking idiot. Don't if you can't not be an idiot, stay the fuck away from me. Don't come around me with your fucking stupidity, because I can't fucking handle it. You know, back to that new T-shirt that I want, right? I have a high tolerance for pain and a low tolerance for bullshit. So stay the fuck away from me, or don't fucking piss me off. You know, don't upset this apple cart, because I'll make fucking applesauce out of your shit, fucker. Yeah. I hate it when the coffee gets low. I hate it when it gets low. But it's like it's almost 6, so I'm gonna have to eat something. Fuck it, I can wait. I was taking my pills early yesterday. I was supposed to go 2, and 10 and 6, and I was doing 2 and 8, and that was wrong. But I guess it helps that I wasn't, didn't have a stomach full of pills trying to digest in the middle of the night while I was sleeping. And it was weird because last night I passed out really early. I'm sorry, I get these what you call it, cramps on top of feeling itchy. I feel itchy. There's got to be some kind of allergic thing going on. Uh, yeah. So, anyways, um, M stands for massive amounts of coffee. Yeah. So, uh, we had a cancellation, of course, this weekend. So I think tomorrow is either open or there's just one house to clean tomorrow, which would be cool. I mean, what I might do tomorrow morning is try to get up early again and then just head out to the swap meet. Um, and then I need to get into the regular habit of using my video cameras when I go out. So I may take a camcorder with me and do some video recording of the swap meet. It's really, really reminiscent of Peddler's Village in 1980s Elsinore, California. It really is. Um, it's got a lot of old, established stuff. It's built. The swap meet itself is built on the grounds of an old drive-in theater. Pardon me. So it still has a few elements of the drive-in theater, mainly the ticket booth and the marquee out on the street. Uh, I can't remember what it's called. Sky something, Sky Harbor Drive-in, I think is what it might have used to been. Out here, there used to be an area called Sky Harbor, and it's all the other areas kind of grew and I think absorbed it. Uh, but it used to be at one end of Yucca Valley. Now it's like the middle of Yucca Valley. Yucca Valley kind of went boom. I remember coming out to Yucca Valley in the 80s to to work at the Bank of America when they were building it. And it was like you did all you could do in the 80s to, find work. And we did a lot of construction work. And I remember I came out here with my father, and we were working for a friend of his, uh, doing, I think we were doing foundation work uh, on some of the exterior stuff of the bank. The building was there, the bank was there. They were working on getting it to where they could start working on the finished stuff on the building. And I think we were called out to do exterior foundation work, infrastructure stuff, water, um, and sidewalking and curbage and that kind of shit. But that was a long time ago. And then after that, I remember coming out to rescue one of my dogs that I had lent to a lady who was going through some shit, a divorce, and and she had come out to Joshua Tree to stay and kind of do that thing that people come out in the desert to do. And the only bummer is that she came back and left the dog because she couldn't deal with the dog, which was kind of a. So one of her friends brought me out with dog food and my other dog, so that we could rescue my dog. Um, I was young, and I didn't realize that you're not supposed to lend people animals like they're a book. They're actual creatures, and they deserve not to be treated like that. I learned a lot of stuff about taking care of about my fellow creatures on this planet. I learned a lot during my 20s and 30s. Uh, I learned that if you can't devote yourself 100% to an animal, don't have a pet. Flat out. If you can't take care of an animal for its entire life, all right, you don't deserve to have a pet. because it's like having a kid. You're making a lifelong commitment. It's not your life, it's their life that you're committing to. It's not a long life, 10, 15, 20 years max. Most of the time it's, 10 or 15 years. You're going to have this animal, this creature living with you, relying upon you for everything, uh, including mental and emotional comfort, right? And for people to just, oh, I'm going to rehome. I hate that word, rehome my pet. Uh, Man, I just want to take out a gun and just mow people down when they're talking about rehoming pets. That shit pisses me the fuck off. Um, you should never have a fucking pet. If you can't devote yourself to an animal 100% for its entire life, get the fuck over yourself and get a spouse or a boyfriend or a kid or something, something that you can, not that you could probably, if you can't devote yourself to 10 years with a pet, you're probably going to be divorced after 2 and have split time with your fucking kids and send that kid off to a goddamn military academy anyway. You're going to rehome your kid? Give me a fucking break. You probably put the damn dog in a cage when you're at work, right? So it doesn't mess up your couch. Fuck you and your damn rehoming. You don't deserve to have a pet if you're going to rehome your pet. Put your pet in a cage. Put your husband in a fucking cage, you crazy bitch. Okay, so like that was a little get carried away. I know I have a tendency to like rant and rave about stuff, but when it comes to pets, yeah, I've been there. I've done that. I've learned a lot. And just like when I was young, I learned a lot by watching others make mistakes. Learn from my mistakes. If you can't take care of a pet 100% for its entire life, don't have a pet. If you can't commit, then don't do it. You know, it's like, oh, I want a family and I want a kid, and now I'm married and I'm pregnant. I don't want anymore. I'm gonna get a divorce. I'm gonna have an abortion. If you can't commit, don't go there, right? I'm gonna give it up for adoption because I just can't commit. I'm gonna put it in a cage and then rehome it. Is that how you're gonna treat your kids? Right? No, I don't think so. Well, I can't say that. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who just have an entire brood of children so they could sit and count those freaking welfare dollars, right? Um, no, just like pets, people are not fucking a commodity, and back to one for one. If you're going to get married and have children, you have 2 children, one for you, one for your husband. That's it, one for one. All right. No population boom. All right. No stealing. The essential building blocks of life from everyone else. I'm going to have 20 kids and counting so that now, the rest of the world has to suffer with our greed. You know, what? What? One for one, people. No, you don't need to have a family of 18. You don't need to have 6 kids. You know, what's going to happen when your husband decides to run off to Mazatlan with his secretary and you're stuck with 6 kids, you know? and and you never wanted to have 6 kids anyway, but he wanted to have 6 kids, and now all of a sudden he's gone, and you're stuck with the 6 kids. Ain't love grand? Don't have fucking lots of fucking kids. People, population, food, hello, pollution, war, death, destruction, end times. This is, oh man, once again surrounded by a planet full of 95% moron. you know and then they just get everybody to fall in line. There's this line 100 fucking shopping carts deep to get out of fucking Walmart because everybody is convinced that if they don't show their receipt, what are they going to do? Sue you, tackle you, arrest you? Walk the fuck out of the goddamn store, grow some balls, all right, and take your shopping cart and the shit that you've already paid for and walk your fucking ass out of the goddamn store. Be treated like a fucking criminal. How dare you do that to yourself and to the rest of us? Well, I'm going to do what I'm told because that's the right thing to do. That's the way I grew up, doing what I was told. I was told to pray, so I pray. I was told to vote, so I vote. I was told to stand in line to leave Walmart, so God darn it, I'm going to stand in line. Fuck, think for yourselves, people. Grow some fucking cojones, you know? My goodness. You hear my stomach? My stomach's going, yeah, you tell them, motherfuckers. Tell them. Tell them. Stand in that fucking line. I will stand in no line that don't get me a fucking ride. Right? So yeah, I'll go to Disneyland and stand in line and stuff. It's better than fucking being at goddamn Walmart. You stand in line and get nothing but the shit you pay for, right? Oh, god darn. Well darn. Yeah, man. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Yeah, I'm starting to see mine starting to get a little brighter in here. You can start to see my beard a little bit. I think I did a pretty decent job. Pretty decent job. I didn't want to get too clean. I didn't want to go too short. Uh, yeah, it's kind of a it's kind of a bushy Grizzly Adams thing, you know. You could take this and turn it up and put it on the top of my head, right? And then I'd look like one of them Russian Cossacks. I'd be all fuzzy up here. One of them fuzzy hats. I am wearing the Cossack hat. Hmm. I got to get some more coffee, people. So the sounds you hear of me getting coffee. Yeah, it's M stands for more. More. Mas Java, por favor. Mas coffee, no edge. Well, so like I was saying, corporate greed sucks, man. Of course, we go to Walmart 2, 3, 4 fucking times a week, right? Uh, we try to we try to get out and use the other supermarkets in town because we owe it to the community to not just shop at Walmart. If we just shop at Walmart, we're going to lose our Stater Brothers' two Stater Brothers in town, and we're going to lose our Vons. We're going to lose our Aldi and all our other little grocery chains and our 99-cent stores. In fact, one of the 99-cent stores is going out of business permanently. I don't know if it's a corporate thing or just a local thing, but that happened when there was already a Walmart in town, and it was just this little Walmart, just a little, they had a little grocery section and they had a lot of Walmart crap. And then they built the super center, and then uh, when they built the super center, we lost Food for Less, and we lost a handful of mom and pop stores out here who sold a lot of the goods, that you can easily find at Walmart for half the price. So shoe stores went, clothing stores, you know, we just It's that corporate entity thing where it just comes into an area and it just engulfs everybody and everything. And so pretty soon you either have to work at Walmart or you're screwed because they've gobbled up all of the jobs, all of the businesses in the area, you know. And then, you walk into this big store with $2 in your pocket and you got a family to feed for a week, you know. Uh, and then the people who were working at Walmart are in the same fucking boat. They're doing 20 hours a week, so they gotta, and there's, five other people in the family and they just have to collect food stamps in order to get by, you know. Once again, beholden to them, and they should all be beholden to us, you know. Why aren't they carrying the things that we should have in the store rather than the cheap mass-produced garbage, or the GMO foods that are just riddled with fucking poison, riddling us with cancers, right? Because we allow it. We don't go to the store and say, look, you need to start carrying more organic. You need to start carrying, these products because they're safer for the environment. No, we go there and we think, how much money can we save on the bullshit that we don't really need? We just they point and we do whatever they tell us to fucking do, you know, without question, because they somehow have managed to take this authority that is a privilege, right? It's a privilege to be voted into office and to take care of your fellow citizens. It ain't a fucking right. You don't get into office and then, well, it's my right to do whatever the hell I want to pass these bills and these laws and screw over this half of the world because I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat or whatever the fuck it is. You know? Yeah. No. No. You guys are beholden to us. And as soon as people wake the fuck up and realize that, you know, the sooner we'll start to get shit done, you know, for the people, by the people, and not for a corporation, by a fucking government entity. We lost our government to corporate America, to greed, to bullshit, to politics for politics' sake. You know, hello, hello, is this thing on? Nobody hears me. I fucking talk and spout this until I'm blue in the face, and people think I'm a fucking kook, right? You don't you realize that this is your country? It's not theirs, you know? We have allowed them this privilege of, you know, helping guide this country. And instead, we just leave them in charge because we don't want to fucking deal with the bullshit. I'm gonna pay my taxes and vote, and then I'm done with it. It's their fucking problem. Wow. Way to go, world. Way to go, country. Way to go, average fucking citizen. You know, give me something to vote for that's worth voting for. Give me someone to vote for who's worth voting for. You can't, reach into a bucket of bullshit and say, okay, this pile of shit, or this pile of shit. Pick one. I don't want any of those piles of shit. But in order to play the game and to do what I'm told, I got to pick one of these piles of shit, which is the nicest, prettiest, less stinky pile of shit. Fuck that. This is voting. This is government. This is politics. This is bullshit, is what this is. You know. And then you got people who just, well, are you going to vote? It's you have to do it. It's one of those things that you have to do. Okay. Give me something to fucking vote for then. Don't throw a bunch of bullshit at me and then say, okay, pick the least stinky bullshit. Fuck you all. Yeah, I voted. I voted for this pile of shit, not that pile of shit. It gets to where it hurts. It hurts your soul to have to make these fucking decisions for the sake of making a decision that's going to take you fucking nowhere. And every year, every 2 years, every 4 years, we make these fucking choices that just fucking back us into a fucking corner or fill us full of fucking bullshit ideals. You know, it's all bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Don't tell me it ain't fucking bullshit, because then I'm going to ask you, well, explain that it ain't bull. How is it not bullshit? Show me the good. Show me the good outweighs the bad. Show me that the good isn't just bullshit. It isn't just fucking blah, 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 blah. Because usually it is. You're not helping your community by lighting candles and voting for idiots. You're not helping your community, by passing up the real issues just to get those cute Facebook fancy, look what I'm doing moments, right? That most people live for now, you know? Oh, look what I'm doing. I'm giving $1 to a homeless person. Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get the picture? All right, give me that fucking dollar back. Get the hell out of here, you piece of shit. That's the way it works. All right. And for those of you who watch these videos and are convinced, gosh, the world is you're delusional, because the world is full of shit. And when you start to believe the bullshit, then you become full of shit. All right. So I got a shit screen. I got a shit meter, a bullshit meter. That thing is fucking constantly tacking out every time I pick up the phone. Bullshit meter, fucking going crazy. Every time I go out somewhere in the world, bullshit meters just fucking tacking out. You know. And if I see bullshit, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. I call bullshit on that because I ain't fucking holding back. You can't fucking keep pulling bullshit and then have everybody just keep accepting it. There needs to be someone out there saying, "Hey, you're all full of shit. You need to pull your heads out of your asses. Stop smelling yourself like you're a fucking rose bush, because you ain't, and wake up to fucking reality, people." You know? What is this strange thing on my phone? It's a fucking jellyfish, asshole. Wake the fuck up. Quit trying to do that. Ooh, look at this. I'm the government. Yeah, well, you know, you can't pull the wool over people's eyes when it's been pulled over yours, right? Get over yourselves, people. You know, people who are get ultra, ultra, ultra religical or political or fanatical about some kind of fucking bullshit, right? You're lost, you know. If you have to live in that kind of bullshit fantasy because you just cannot handle your own reality, you know, you just have to do that selfie in front of this car so that people think that's your fucking car. Well, you're gone, you're wasted. We need to line these fucking people up and tell them, hey, if you jump into that volcano, you're going to live forever. And that line is going to go around and around and around the planet. Why? Because people are just fucking happy as fucking clowns to just jump in that line and go, look, I'm going to live forever because I'm going to jump into that volcano. Look at me, here I go, live forever, yeah. Oh, we need most of the world to line up at that fucking queue right there. Volcano people, don't forget, volcano, live forever, go. You know, then maybe, then maybe the planet and humanity will have some kind of chance. Because the way things are going now, 95% of these fucking idiots out there, uh, I can't even look at, because they just start spouting some fucking rhetoric bullshit that's just been hacked into their fucking head, right? Since fucking birth, their parents telling them, oh, you're the best thing in the world and your shit don't stink. And here's the rose colored glasses you're going to see life through. And you can be president and all this other fucking bullshit that they tell their kids. So they grow up spoiled, rotten little fucking shitheads who will just do whatever the fuck they want, damn the consequences, because they don't have any consequences, because they were raised to think that their shit don't stink and they're perfect, you know. Duh. And then we make these stupid son of a bitches fucking president, right? So yeah, that's my stomach saying I highly agree with what he's saying. Motherfucker, please. Yeah, here comes that sun. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Look at my hair. Isn't that beautiful? I have such long, beautiful hair. I don't have much of it, but it's long and beautiful, right? Wow. I can't believe it's already 6:15 and here comes that sun. Boom. Boom, baby. I remember, gosh, somewhere back at season 2, it was still dark at this time. There you go. The lighter it gets, the more the lines in my beard are working. Right on. I was kind of up. I was in there last night, kept brushing it out, walking out, and then coming back and going, all right, one more. All right, and then I brush it out, and I walk out, and I come back and I go, ah, crap, there's another one. And I just kept. I don't do it too often. Maybe I think the last time I did this whole trimming it up nice was 2 years ago at my daughter's high school graduation. So now I'm all cleaned up for her college graduation, and it'll probably be another couple of years before well, I don't know, maybe I'll decide to do this every couple of months and keep it, you know. Maybe it'll get bigger like this rather than just kind of be like this with a bunch of little long danglies, you know. Well, enough about my beard. Let's talk about your beard. Mom, are you there? No, she's a not. She's a not there. She's not gonna be there either. She's a gonna. Oh, yeah, the bearded woman. Yeah. So yeah, I still have to clean and organize my fucking van. I'm not looking forward to it because by the time I get done with this here at about 8 o'clock, all I want to do is eat breakfast and sit and watch a little TV with my wife. And then after that, it's like, what do I got to do? Do I have anything important to do? Should I take a nap? Uh, and I think I'm going to have to schedule every day uh, my 4 hours of sleep at night and then my 2 or 3 hours sleep during the day. It's just going to have to be that way. I'm going to have to split shift. I can't sleep for 8 hours at a whack because it just becomes too painful. So if I can do my 3 or 4 hours sleep at night and then my 2 or 3 hours sleep during the day, I think these bags are going to start to go away again. When I first started this schedule, I was feeling really good and energized, and my eyes were looking better. And then I got my toothache and then infection, and it wasn't like it wasn't. It was just annoying. It wasn't painful. It wasn't a huge infection. There was no swelling. There was no this or that. It was just a bummer. But apparently, the biggest thing that it was doing to me was making me tired. So that even though I was getting my split shift of sleep, it still wasn't enough. And now I feel like it's enough. Uh, I lay down in the evening or the afternoon, and I wake up and I don't feel like, ah, fuck it, I'm just going to sleep till tomorrow. And that's the way I was feeling. And now I just feel like, I can go lay down, get a couple hours sleep, wake up and feel refreshed rather than feel more tired, you know? And I hate that feeling. I hate just kind of dragging around the house, wanting to get so much done, but just not feeling like even being awake, right? And it's like no matter how much caffeine I put into me, it's just not enough, you know? And some days I feel like I'm just living on caffeine. It's like without the caffeine, I would not be able to make it, you know? Uh, two cups in the morning coffee, and then by lunchtime, by noon, um, I'm having a Coke with lunch, you know? Or if I just have a breakfast, then, by 2 o'clock at the latest, I'm having another Coke, right? So it'll be a couple of cups of coffee and some kind of Coke during the day, and then a Coke in the evening, just to keep that caffeine running through my system. And even then, by 2 o'clock, I've got to lay down, and then usually I'll be asleep between 2:30 and 3, and then I'm awake again by, anywhere between 4:30 and 6, depending on how exhausted I am. Uh, and I always convince myself that I'm going to lay down, I'm going to get some rest, and then I'll have the energy to get up and do something. Like last night, it's like, all right, it's about 2 o'clock. I'm going to lay down. Um, I'm just going to sleep for a couple of hours, and then I'm going to get up, and and I got up, and I was like, I was hot, and there was no cold water, and I was just miserable, and I was hungry, and there was nothing to eat. It was like, rah, 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 rah. I felt like Boog on Open Season, that big bear. Yeah, it's heavy stuff. So I just had to, do a bong hit and center myself and go, all right, it's all good. It's all good. And then we wound up having really cool baked potatoes, loaded baked potatoes last night for dinner. And that was great because, at about 7 or 8 o'clock at night, you don't want to eat a whole heavy dinner. You just don't. I mean, usually I'll just do something light and then have some light dessert, you know. And my hair looks all scraggly, doesn't it? Looks all scraggly. I should tease it and let it poof out more. Yeah. There you go. Let me poof it out on the side too. There. Look, I look like a collie. Melancholy. I put on my Eeyore ears last night. A pair of, you put them on, and it's got big ears that hang down. Eeyore ears I got from Disneyland back in 97. It could have been earlier than that. I'm surprised they're still around. I think one of our dogs chewed a little piece out of one of the ears. So I was like, honey, could you stitch up this ear for me? She's like, maybe. Leave me alone. Uh, but yeah, every once in a while, I like to put on my Eeyore ears and wonder why bother. Yeah, mornings, mornings, mornings. I was going to set up my big folding table in here and put up my computers and mixers and everything and do all of that and go through all of the rigmarole. And then I thought, you know what, I'm dry humping my own leg here, thinking that this morning show needs to be any more than this, right? I think I'm just going to keep moving my cameras around and just kind of explore more of the room. Um, but mainly I'm just exploring my own psyche uh, with this show. So yeah, I mean, once in a while I'll probably do something different. I'm going to use one of my small, what you call it, audio mixers, one of my small digital audio mixers to run my microphone and my phone through, right? And if I can run my microphone and my phone through this one digital audio mixer, then I'll use that to continue Old Time Radio Wednesdays next week. And just continue to use this USB cam, and then just move this USB cam around to try to capture more views of my world here. But for the most part, I think I am just going to keep it simple. Oh no! Hey, it's Bush. Let's see what Bush has to say here. Uh, um, just got back, huh? Yeah, once you figure out YouTube, it's pretty easy to navigate. Um, because all of my live stuff, this is just listed right under live. So you can go to my live playlist and see this happening live. Usually, if you go to my page, to my YouTube channel, this is happening. It's like my first documentary, and then whatever's happening right now is usually next. So yeah, well, if you're here, I'm glad you found your way back, Bush. Uh, I don't know. Did you get your stuff wrapped up for the week? Uh, get your floor done? Um, I think the only real important thing that I got done this week is trimmed my beard, but that's about it. That, and I put those checklists together, and that's really cool. Uh, yeah, there's my reply. Okay, cool. All right, well, if you want to get together at some point today, I don't think I got anything going on. It's Friday, so I don't think I got anything going on. Um, yeah, hit me up when you're ready to cruise over, and I'll get some computer stuff set up, and we'll kind of get us a rough draft of our opening for Monday nights. And then at some point, what I think I'd like to do is do some kind of a live test of the three cameras, the graphics, the sound, and that can pretty much be done anywhere. We can set it up. We can do it here. Probably be easier since most of the stuff's in the van, just to throw the rest of the crap in the van, go park somewhere, and set up and do a live location uh, transmission thing and try out all the little bells and whistles for the show. And we can just try out different things, rather than play the opening theme, we can just play some other kind of elements. Did he say elephants? Leave him alone, Harry. Um, so, yeah. And then at some point, Bush, if you want to, you and I can go over and see Linus um, in the afternoon, early evening, before he gets started with one of his other evening projects, because I know they've always got live shit going on over there. And one of the things I was thinking about, Bush, was during in between the acts on open mic, rather than worry about getting up on stage and keeping people entertained, why don't we take some of the Facebook commercials for Giant Rock that I'm always seeing, and kind of fluffing them up a little bit and creating like a 2 or 3 minute in between commercial to play on a screen there, and to mix in to the live performance, so that people who are watching live at home will actually see the upcoming stuff, right? Uh, oh yeah, I'll give you a call when I get done here, and probably about 8ish. And then, like I said, after I get done here at about 8, then I'll probably do some real breakfast, and then spend about an hour hanging out with my wife, and then start getting geared up to do something. So you'll probably hear from me anywhere between 8 and 10 o'clock this morning. If you get geared up to do something and you're ready to go anytime after 8, give me a call and shoot on over, because I'm always ready to do something at the drop of a hat. Usually, all I got to do is get dressed, uh, and that's about it. That's what that is. But yeah, I was thinking that we could really get into creating some other content to do. Uh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, make a commercial for the t-shirt shop. Um, make some little in between commercial segments that highlight upcoming stuff, and all he's got to do is, every time he decides, okay, this is the band that's going to be here in 2 weeks, here's the commercial that we've created for Facebook. I just take that information and scoop it together with the other upcoming stuff and create an in between segment, and it can be a loop too. It could just be something that plays over uh, until the next act is ready to get up. You see those all the time. You're walking around the mall and the concerts and place, and you see this marquee, this screen marquee, where it's just, you know, July 17th, February 2nd, and you see all these, performers and stuff. And I think if we do something like that, where I can just hit play on a loop, fade to that, and then that's just constantly playing on the screen as well, you know, um, having one camera and a monitor devoted to the stage and to the audience, right? So that the audience has a monitor to see what's on the stage. Maybe mirror that monitor inside the bar as well, so they can see and hear what's going on outside wherever the venue winds up taking place. I really hope we can get away from that highway. I really hope that we can get to a place with a bigger, flatter, open stage thing. Mainly so that we can, just have more room to have fun and get away from that sound. But once we start jacking the sound from the PA into my mixer and then into the live, I think we should lose a lot of that ambient traffic sound, those big rigs going by. Well, I miss hearing from some of my friends abroad. Quit talking about broads. Leave 'em alone, Harry. Like in Viced, over in Brunei, and Crim in Ireland, and the Mikes up in Canada there, and all of my friends and family that pop in occasionally. So, say hi once in a while you're here, so I can remember you. And also remember that at some point, I'm just about to 100 subscribers, friends. And when I get to 100, I'm definitely going to be doing a live telethon where I'm going to pick a time where, probably during the week, where I'm going to go live in the morning, and I'm going to stay live, stay live, stay live for days and days, and until I get to a point to where I've got X amount of viewers watching at once. And then I'll pull names out of a hat and then send those people something from the show. So that'll be fun. So we're like at 80 something right now. So we're almost there. Yeah, blinds. I was thinking the same thing. Blinds, some kind of insulation, um, that we can, yeah, kind of close off some of that sound. Because I want to move my van. I want to move my van over where we bring stuff in and out onto the stage. I think if I put my van over there, I'm going to have less cableage going around and have to deal with less of that kind of shit. And then uh, I'll kind of be in the view of people who are there. But I'm not real concerned about, you know, everybody else watching what's going on. I think that was kind of a distraction last time. I think if there had been less people around, going, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on?" I probably would have been more likely to have done a sound check and to get things squared away properly. So, yeah, I need to stay in my own head for the first, hour I'm there to get things done right. And then I think one of the things I'm going to look into is the HDMI wireless nodes. Plug one into a camera, plug it into the mixer, and now I got no wire in between. Um, that and a Chromebook to go live from, um, so that I have more computer power for graphics and keying up text and overlays and stuff, and be able to create something while we're live, so that if I decide, oh wow, I've got their picture on file, I just need to create their name and text, and now I can put them up on screen when they get up on screen, up on stage, right? So I need to be able to, not only get everything set up uh, in a reasonable amount of time, but then have everything function, and then be able to do more than that. You know, my walkie-talkies back here. I'm gonna have to get some little ear doodads, so that I can. Here's a pair of them, right? And in fact, I've got one back here already set up. There we go. So I've got my old 1980s walkie-talkies, the big dudes, the bad original guys, TRC 207 40 channel citizen band transceiver, right? Come in, breaker, breaker. So I'm going to be using these guys uh, and earbuds um, for people who want to volunteer to use a camera, right? And I think that'll be kind of fun if we can get some of the regulars who are going to be there anyway, right? And they just kind of stand around waiting for their time to get on. Who's this guy? What's this? I heard this song a million times. Just I just want to do my song and get out of here. I think if we give them something else to do, i.e., putting more musical instruments on the stage, at some point being able to put. What would be really nice is having a stage just a little bit bigger so that we can put like a couple of chairs and a table, you know, and then so not only do we have the act on stage, but we got the next act or two up there playing checkers or sitting there back there tuning their guitar, you know, or loading a pipe, whatever the fuck, whatever. I got to close this window. But so why not give them something fun to do and give them a walkie-talkie and a camera and say, okay, I'll come to you and I'll say, okay, are you ready for my shot? All right, stay focused, stay sharp, stay right there. All right, I'm going to go to you. Okay, fade to you. Boom. And then you're on camera. You're in control of that shot. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to switch. Okay, you're off. Find another shot. I mean, that sounds like fun to me, you know? Or maybe I want to get up on stage and do a song eventually. And I can have somebody come and sit down in the van and, okay, well, try to wait for breaks in the song to switch the camera or at least count to 15 in your head and then switch to another camera angle, you know. That sounds like fun too, getting people, involved in the whole production so that they want to come back. They want to get up on stage and, I know this thing on the piano. I'm going to come play it next time. Or I think I can do the drums to that better next time, you know. Um, who was it the other day that was like DW or something who got up and played the drums for a couple of different people, and that was fun, you know. And there were a few points to where he was on it. He finally nailed that beat, and it was just perfect, And that's neat where you can get those moments, where everything just works, you know. Yeah, that's the shit right there. I got to warn you, something. I can't drink cold coffee. I just can't do it. Good, good. Yeah. So yeah, let's shoot some more video, dude. Exactly. Everybody's got something, creative inside of them. And it's like you spend all that time just sitting there watching everybody else, and then you get your 15 minutes fame, and then you just want to boogie. But yeah, if people had other things to do, you know, other reasons to be on stage, other reasons to be doing stuff behind the scenes, other reasons to be in the audience, I mean, uh, like when I eventually get up and do one of my new songs, um, there's a point where David plays harmonica during the song and then plays the harmonica throughout the end of the song, right? And the way I see it happening is I get up and I do my song. And then when I call for the harmonica break, he stands up out of the audience and starts blasting that thing, right? And then comes up on stage. And then there's a short little part where it's really quiet. and then he'll play for the last two verses the harmonica throughout the rest of the song, right? And what I see is for him to get up out of the audience and come on and help me finish the song, right? And then we leave together. And so I'd like if we had that kind of audience participation, you know, or get everybody at the beginning of the night to sign on to do something at the end of the night, you know, or rather than wait till the end of the night, say, okay, we've got enough people here who have signed on to get up on stage together and present something anew, something different, something borrowed, whatever, you know. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun too. And I think if we do something like that, we shouldn't wait till the end of the night. Because if we do it at the middle of the night and then get a couple of more people up there, they're going to want to stay till the end of the night to see more of that. So we give them a little taste, just see what it tastes like. And then at the end of the night, then we get everybody up there. Everybody who's left gets up there and does a big jam, you know, and then that can go for as long as it needs to go. Uh, but yeah, let's do as much as we can do um, to keep people from just wanting to do their shit and go home, you know. Um, and then once we make it to where it's a really, really inviting environment for people to come and hang out in, you know, we're gonna have to turn them away. There's gonna be so many fucking people. I'm sorry, the list is full. What are you gonna do, eh? We can't be here all night. So I think if we just make the place cozy, right? It should feel like your living room, grandma's house. It should smell like, you know, warm cookies, you know, burning sage and incense, whatever we got to do to make that area feel like it's just an extension of your own world, right? Hanging out at your best friend's, you know, garage in 1972 or whatever, you know. I mean, you know, let's I'm always talking about flashbacks, you know, and time travel and shit. And this should be one of those things where you get up there and you kind of like sitting in my room here, you look around, you go, "Wow, man, I feel like I'm getting sucked back in time," you know, or to an alternate dimension. You know, is this real? Is it live or is it Memorex? This message is, yeah. Sometimes it's a cover, sometimes it's original. You know, that's like me. Sometimes I do an original, sometimes I do a cover. You know, I try to mix it up a little bit. At some point, I'd like to get on stage and do more. You know, uh, yeah. If we can get people together and just because everybody's so talented, and like Bush said, they're multi-talented, multifaceted, creative people who, you know, are way more than the sum of their parts if you allow them to see it, right? Like, was it DW up there on the drums? And he was like, you know, he got up there kind of begrudgingly at first, but then it was like people wanted to, hey, no, stay there and play drums for me, you know, because it was really cool, you know. Oh no, everything was fucked up. Everything was fucked up Monday night. Uh, when we did our sound check listening to YouTube, we should have gone away and we should have turned it up and we should have listened to it for at least a minute. Had we done that, I could have fixed the problem. And by the time Sam got on, it would have been saved. Or um, by the time, you know, we'd found the problem within the first half hour, we could have, even if we had to stop the link and go back and do something else. Um, but yeah, I mean, my issue now is I want to record. We're going to go live, and at the same time, simultaneously, I want to be recording everything onto hard drive, so that even if we get a bad signal or we lose, our connection to YouTube somehow, we're still recording everything that is mixed live. So that's what I've been working on this week, making it so that we're covering our asses, because I was really upset about not having any sound captured Monday night. And I'm not going to crucify myself. And it was a mistake, and so I can't apologize for it. It is what it is. It happened. It's a bummer. The video was fantastic, and the video looked fucking great, right? Even the thumbnail for the video is beautiful with 3 guys on stage there. But I knew going into Monday night that it was a dry run, a live test of what we could do, not knowing if the hotspot thing was going to work, not knowing if the poor signal from the hotspot was the cause of the audio malfunction. It wasn't until a day or so later, that after I figured out that the sound was crap, that I had to go back in my head and and do everything over again, setting up in my head to realize that the one thing that I believe I did not do was jack in the RCA to the USB on the live computer. And the RCA jacks come from my live mixer and go into the USB that takes it to live YouTube. And I think that one thing is what kept the sound from working. And I was picking up intermittent sound from another microphone that wasn't properly facing. So yeah, so it was a big screwed the pooch on that one. But this whole thing is a learning curve for me. I mean, this is a hobby that has cost me thousands of dollars in the last few years, and I'm learning every time I turn this stuff on. I'm learning how it works. You know, uh, and it's a challenge because I'm an analog guy, and I've got to deal with digital, and I've got to deal with high definition and 4K and analog video switched into digital video, and USB versus HDMI cameras, and digital microphones versus old school, and then there's dynamic microphones and all these other, and it's like, and all making all of this work together is a huge undertaking. It's a daunting task. Uh, and it was like the only thing that I could think of to make it all easier was to create a checklist and create places in the checklist to add more checks, right? So that when I get everything set up, I can run around and go, is this set up? Is this set up? Is this set up? Is it working? Is it working properly? Is it adjusted properly? I had one camera Monday night was set to one resolution and one was set to another. So one was crystal clear and one was kind of pixelated and grainy. And I don't know if it was the lighting, the angle, or if it was they were just set differently. So I've got to go through, set all my cameras alike, make sure everything is adjusted alike, make sure if I'm going to use batteries, they're charged, right? Uh, it's like a huge job, right? And it's a hobby. And I have a tendency to, when hobbies or fun stuff become too tiresome and annoying, I have a tendency to just say, fuck it, right? And this is too much fun to do that. So I need to make it real easy to accomplish every time, so that I don't wake up from my nap Monday evening and go, fuck, I gotta go fucking set up, and I just don't want to do it, right? I don't want to be there. I want to be like, is it time to go yet? I'm ready. Let me get my shit set. I'm gonna get out there early and do this and this and this. That's what I want it to be. Takes a lot of coffee and a lot of pot, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of, lot of fun, and I want it to stay fun. You know, so whatever I can do to make it easy, i.e., the checklist, the walkie-talkies, you know, I'm going to have one of these for Bush, one for me, and two for people who want to help out, right? And those people can like change as the evening progresses. Like, okay, well, for the first part of the evening, you're going to be in charge of this walkie-talkie and that camera and this side of everything. And then after you go on stage, this person is going to take your spot and they're going to be in charge of this stuff for the second half of the evening, right? And then at some point, everybody drops everything and gets onto stage, and I'll be in charge of cameras, right? Or me and Bush, or me and someone who's not going to get on stage, right? There was a girl there, Shalise, who was recording Trip. Seems she goes around, she records a lot of Trip's stuff. She's one of those people that I would love to tap as a camera person. That would be great. But people like that who want to get involved, who want to do something, but they don't sing, they don't play instruments. They come here, they have fun. They want to find a reason to stay longer. Well, sure, pick up a walkie-talkie and a camera and hang out. You know, sure, that sounds like a lot of fun. You know, uh, yeah, I'm hoping that at some point, uh, the whole stage thing, you know, call meanie, what? The whole stage thing becomes uh, an actual character, one of the main characters of Monday Night Live open mic should be the stage, right? The stage should have its own characteristics, its own feel, its own smell, right? It's like, what's wrong? Why is the stage not set perfectly? We didn't light some sage and some incense back here. All right. And we didn't turn that light on. And where's the lava lamp? We need a lava lamp, you know? Um, it's still warming up. So yeah, I'm convinced that at some point, um, the stage is going to take on a life of its own, and it's going to be drawing people up there, even when they're not in front of the mic. They're still going to be up there, wanting to be up there as a part of the background, right? The scenery. It should be like a living portrait, like the masters, right? Where you go and they set up a stage and they do this portrait, this painting, and they do a live rendition of a painting, a famous painting, right? And they'll get up there and they'll get all these actors dressed in costumes and stuff, and they'll get up there and they'll stand there just like the painting, and it'll be a live performance of a painting. Uh, and that's what I think the stage should eventually be like for an open mic, for this open mic, you know, just little things to make it feel cozy, you know, not too distracting, because the main thing is going to be the people, the performers, but to make the performers feel like, they're just walking into another room in their house. They're not really on stage, so people like me can feel comfortable getting up there in front of a bunch of strangers, because it's not going to feel like strangers, right? You're hanging out in the crowd, you're having a drink with these people. Cheers, hey, I'm going to go sit over in this part of the house. And by the way, I'm going to sing, and now I'm back here having a drink, and it should just feel really cozy, you know. Come on up. People who wouldn't normally get up and do things should feel comfortable about getting up and doing something, you know. Lava lamp on the table on the post, right? In fact, I forgot to turn my lava lamp on this morning, so it's lying back there dormant, just a hunk of cold wax. But yeah, um, some some stage lighting, some you know, ambient, uh, some, you know what I'm saying, something to make it, aside from like putting posters and stuff up and making it feel like, this is like my room back when I was a kid. It should just feel cozy. You know, a beanbag would be neat to have over in one corner. The stage, as big as it is now, it's just too small. If we get the okay to move to another position and then have like a little lighted trail that takes you to where we're actually doing our stuff, that'd be neat. And then have a big giant area where we can roll out a big hunk of carpet and set up a little couple of chairs and a little table and a checkerboard or whatever, and then have a TV over here and a little entertainment center with a lava lamp and a little stereo, and you know yeah, rather than listen to the house music, we can just go stick an 8-track in and listen to that while we're waiting for shit to happen, right? And keep it real. Keep a real feel to it, so you don't feel like you're at a restaurant or at a venue. You just feel like you're hanging out at Mike Kripke's basement. We're just chilling, dude. Come on over to the pad and hang out, bruh. Totally. Can you dig it, baby? Can you dig your man? I can totally dig it. I can like. Hey, yeah. Bong Hit. Yeah, the dogs, funny dogs this morning. All three of the dogs that were sleeping with us, they got up, they came out of that room, and I opened up my daughter's door, and they all three went in there and went right back to sleep with her. It's like nobody wants to hang out here. It's like that guy's just gonna sit and talk to himself, and how do you won't let us sleep? He just blah 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 blah. Fucking dogs, traitors. Jeez, come on. Leave me out here all alone, all buzzed on pot and coffee. Fucking dogs, man. I feed you, man. You owe me. Totally. Totally, dude. Yeah. So we keep bouncing around from 0 viewers to 3 viewers, but I don't know who you are. I imagine one of them is Joey and one of them is Bush, and there's probably somebody else hanging out. Could be somebody I know. It could just be a stranger wandering around on YouTube going, "The fuck is this guy talking about? Who the hell is this? Who the hell is that?" That's just me. Crazy old weird bearded guy. This show is not made for kids. Bong hits and what stuff, the foul language. But I'm assuming if you're old enough to watch like a Cheech and Chong movie, then you're old enough to sit and watch one of my stupid morning shows. So you're always listening. I know you're such a devoted friend. I can always count on Joey to be here in the morning, hanging out, hanging out. uh, yeah, yeah. It's good to have people around, because if it wasn't for this show, I would literally be here every morning, driving the dogs crazy, talking to them or talking to myself. Um, I used to talk to myself a lot. I still talk to myself, but now I feel like I've got a little bit of interaction on occasion, and when that happens, I feel like, well, I'm not alone. I'm talking to somebody. Somebody's bound to be listening. If not now, then maybe later, but somebody's bound to be listening nowadays. So I can get on and actually have more to say than just a inner monologue that's been externalized, right? Um, and a lot of coffee and weed, that doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt. That just makes it all the more fun to sit here in the morning and say, um, "Hello, can you hear me? You guys still up in the treehouse? Okay, so like I'm gonna bring up some PBJs and Kool-Aid, okay? All right, bye. Mom's making cookies. Bye." Yeah, totally. walkie-talkies. I don't get to play with this stuff because I don't have anyone around who wants to play my silly juvenile games, you know? I mean, I'm like the kid who wants to play dress up all the time. Let's put on our Civil War costumes and we'll go out there and load our muskets and pretend to shoot each other. You know, nobody wants to do Civil War reenactments. You know, nobody wants to sit and play Battleship with me, you know, or sit and play Simon. You know, you guys remember Simon, right? Come on, everybody remembers Simon. Who doesn't remember Simon? This is Simon. Anybody remember Simon? This is Simon. He's my friend. He's my friend from the 1970s, buddy. This is Simon. So what happens with Simon is you'll push Simon, turn Simon on, and then you'll follow these little buttons. Simon will light up yellow, and then you'll push and light up yellow, and then Simon will light up yellow and red, and then you'll push yellow and red, and then Simon will light up yellow and red, and then you'll push yellow and red, and you follow Simon. Every time Simon does something, you do what Simon does. Simon says yellow, red, green, blue, yellow. So you follow along, right? Fun game. LARP, live action role play. Yeah, I'm totally into LARPing. We used to LARP all the times as kids, but we just called it pretending. We just called it playing, right? We'd play war, we'd play army, we'd play pirates. Whatever movie happened over the weekend, like on Saturday, that Sunday we'd be out playing. We're those guys now. And then our movies got to be like movies like Over the Edge, you know, and Warriors and that kind of stuff. So then we're out there really fucking it up, just getting rowdy. Really? You couldn't keep up with Simon, huh, Bush? A little too slow, huh? No, Simon fucks me up all the time. I can get about 6 to 10 moves into Simon, and then I'm gone. You know, I don't have that great of a short-term memory, which is why I recall long-term memory stuff way better. You know, you ask me, what did I do yesterday? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know. You ask me what I was doing, you know, 40 years ago on this day. And I'm like, dude, like I totally was like at school. And then after school, we went over to like the A-frame and we got some food there. And then we took the Let's bus over to Andy's house. I mean, it's like, you know, you give me an event or somebody and I'll take you right back there, you know. But if you're going to try to get me to play Simon and actually keep up, oh hell no, you know, it just don't work that way. Uh, I like playing Simon with somebody else. Yeah, totally, man. I was like, you know what's really neat now is in the early '90s, uh, my friend Andy and I, because of my father's influence, we got into LARPing at the Renaissance Fair. And I was so into it that I hand stitched my own costumes, my own vest, my own doublet, gauntlets, my own boots. I handmade my own boots. I like hand created all of these different elements to my outfit, to my world. And so that I could go to the Renaissance Fair and unroll my bag of stuff and actually be just like I am here. I could be immersed in that time period. I had my little clay tobacco pipe. I had my little lantern. I had my own wooden bowl and wooden spoon and my own goblet and all of these little, my own cloak, staff. I mean, I had every little thing that you could possibly have. in a bag so that I could just immerse myself in that, you know, and I could totally still get into live action role playing because it's just uh, it's juvenile, right? It's so us when we were kids, you know. Uh-huh. Totally. Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, with me, it's like the now. You know, I like to live in the now uh, through the eyes of yesterday. I like to have that filter that I look at life through is a filter of the 1970s and 80s. So everything that I see, everything that I do is through that filter, and I react as though I'm in that period of time. You know, so I really get off on living the past today. You know, um, and I think today is the day where I'm going to put on some records and burn some more incense and some sage and merge that with the present and sit here and do some creating stuff on the computer. In fact, I wish that I had my old 1990s Apple desktop computer. you know I wish I had a 1980s Commodore 64 computer, right? uh, that would be so fucking awesome. I do have a couple of old typewriters, right, that I like to occasionally sit down and hammer out some shit on. And maybe I'll pull that out when we're writing cover copy voiceover stuff for and text for the opening and closing rather than get on the program over here. Maybe I'll just pull out the typewriter and bang out some stuff there and then transfer it over because I get closer to the past if I'm wearing the past, surrounded by the past. I got past in my fingers, and I grab these things and I'm just like, all right, now what else can I do here to make myself feel like, I'm a kid again. I'm back at high school. Maybe I should ditch today and go take the bus over to Corey's house because he doesn't go to school anymore. He's doing home studies, so he's going to be home. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just say fuck it all together and we won't go home tonight. We'll just go straight to the Ortegs and hang out in the mountains. Anybody got any beer money? Fuck the food. Let's get some beer. I mean, I try to get in that feel, you know, uh, and then get into a project for today and utilize that past, you know, because it's there. Why cancel out something when you can use it? You know, Not everything about the past was beautiful and perfect, especially my own past. But I'm not going to just say, "Oh, that never happened, and I don't ever want to talk about it again. Let's bury it. Let's take those statues down." No, I want to use that shit that I know about the past and learn from it, and hold on to it, and savor those memories and those lessons learned, and then try to pass them on. If you bury history, you can't learn from it. So I'm going to do that with my own history, learn from it, enjoy it, fun, relish in it, and then use it, as the catalyst for creating today's content. You know, I think that's what gives my stuff such an old feel, an old retro vintage style, is that, I still live in the past. I was watching Barnaby Jones last night, and they're like driving along the highway. It's like one of those in between shots, right? and the car pulls up this drive along PCH somewhere up there in Carpinteria, right along the coast, and uh, and I'm like, dude, I've seen that spot before. Now I want to watch an episode of Chips, right? And then when I watch an episode of Chips, it's like I'm like totally thrust back into the 1970s in California when there was very little highway infrastructure and communities and towns weren't divided down the middle by freeway projects and shit. And if they were, you know, they were divided down the middle forever until they finally ran a freeway through and entire neighborhoods were gutted and bought all of the houses were bought up and then left empty to rot until they finally decided to put something through there. So yeah, I mean when I watch these old episodes of shit, that helps take me back big time because a lot of my childhood was buzzing around these places in Southern California. Uh, so yeah, I really dig immersing myself in the past to bring the past into the present. You know, every time I go out into the world to do anything, I feel like I'm bringing some of the past into the present. You know, with my Vans and corduroy socks and 501 jeans and T-shirts and corduroy jackets and my weird hats and my my roach clip and my Zig Zags. I'm like uh, I'm like totally a door to the past. Just take my hand and I'll pull you through. Come on into the past, man. Can you dig it? It's a choice, man. That's pretty gnarly, brah. Pretty gnarly. Somebody mentioned Xanadu this morning on one of those things. I was flipping through Facebook real quick after I posted my link. And I was looking at that guy. God, the guy looks familiar. He's kind of almost, uh, he's almost looks like Andy Gibb, right? But he's not. He's that guy that was in Warriors, right? The one main guy in the Warriors movie. That guy was in Xanadu, right? And I was just watching. It was like this little loop of a couple of seconds of the film, uh, and it was like seeing that dude's face was like a was like a time trip in itself. Because I was like, as soon as I saw his face, I was like, this movie and that movie and this movie and that time period. When I watched this movie and that movie and this movie, this was going on in my life, and I was here and this, and I was at that guy's house, and I was doing this, and it's like, you know, flashback. And I love to do that to myself. I love to throw shit stimuli at myself so that I have no choice but to regress back to another place in time. This dude is fucking weird. What is he talking about? Honey, you got to see this guy. He's like, keeps talking about going here and here, and like in his own head. Whoa, this dude is out there. Hmm. Yes, I am. Why? Why? Yes, I am. Oh, see, I know Joey I don't know when he typed this, but Joey said that he'd play Battleship if he were here. Totally, man. That's awesome. Well, I can't wait for you to be here. Or maybe we'll, what I should do is we should find Battleship games and get them sent out to people. So while I'm sitting here talking, I could say B-17, and then whoever out there is playing Battleship with me with their own board at home and their own ships, they can go, ah, damn it, you sank my Battleship, you fucker. That'd be fun, right? What the hell is this guy doing? Honey, he's playing games with people in Australia and Virginia and Canada and shit. This guy's a kook. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My coffee's almost gone and I'm starting to get depressed about it. It's my second cup. And, some days you just feel like it's not enough. It just ain't enough, man. It just ain't enough. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo, woo, woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Well, you can see that window's getting brighter now. That sun's coming up. That's some crazy, crazy stuff right there. The light on my two VCRs here. Yes, those are actual VCRs, and I have a lot of tape, man. A lot of blank new tapes that I like to record on, and then a lot of like movies and stuff. You know, uh, one of those movies that I like to watch on occasion is Johnny Dangerously. You guys remember that one? Johnny Dangerously. Michael Keaton, an early Michael Keaton movie. He's the guy that did Batman, the first really good Batman movies. Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. Michael Keaton, Johnny Dangerously. Also, one of Michael Keaton's early movies is Night Shift with Henry Winkler. It's a movie directed by Ron Howard, his first big to do. And that's a great movie. But one of my best favorite movies to watch on VHS is Over the Edge, 1979. A kid's um, rebellion movie, basically, right? And it's 1979. It's out in the suburbs somewhere. Kids got nothing to do. All they do is, sit around and get stoned and party and get into trouble and stuff. Much like my childhood, right? So it's a really heavy movie. It never made it to the theaters because it was so violent. They say it was so violent that they would not release it into the theaters. They thought that it would drive kids to do this in their own neighborhoods. So the soundtrack was released, uh, and that's just a fantastic soundtrack. The Cars, Cheap Trick, Jimi Hendrix, Van Halen, just great stuff for 1979. But we didn't see the movie until it was like 1982 or 83 or something, and we would go over to my friend Andy's house in the middle of the night. Well, his parents were working the graveyard shift, and we'd hang out at his house. And all of a sudden, this movie came on one night, and we were like, "Oh my God, this is like us," you know. And we saw ourselves in this movie in every scene, you know. Uh, and uh, and we would emulate this movie when we would go out into real life. It's like, yeah, let's go out, let's party, let's get some booze and some mushrooms. Let's, yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, but more than that, I mean, it was just a really, really classic film about that period and being a kid in that period and that kind of environment, you know. And so Matt Dillon, this is his first movie for Matt Dillon, and it never made it to the theaters. And it wasn't until the following year that he got a movie and was in something else uh, that made him famous. And because anything that he had done for his first movie would have made him famous, really, because he was that different and unique. And what a great dude, Matt Dillon. You know, I mean, his method of acting was just so uh, Brando and so what's that guy? James Dean, right? I mean, he was just, yeah, he would just get into something. He would just, oh, he would just, like he was stabbing that knife in the outsiders, just feeling it. Do it for Johnny, man. We got to do it for Johnny. Yeah, back in the 80s, I could watch anything with Matt Dillon, and he was always the same guy. He was always Matt Dillon. Just like if you're watching Brando or James Dean, they were always themselves, you know. first and foremost, and then the character. Stella! Oh, that does it for the coffee, which means it's strictly Bong Hits from here on out. And which reminds me, it's about time to do a Bong Hit. Or maybe one of these here. One of these here. Hey, I got this working for me. Yeah, so uh walkie-talkies, man. Yeah, it'd totally be neat to have a few people around the country, around the world with these battleship games, you know, uh, so that, we could say, like, who's up for a round of battleship. And I could play with multiple people, right? Using my one turn against everybody else's turns, right? Because it'd be like bingo. It would. Because you're just putting things down on a number. I mean, it's totally like, you sank my battleship. It's like bingo, right? So that'd be cool. That'd be totally something to do. Anybody out there know where you can find a battleship game? Grab a battleship game and hit me up, and we'll do some live battleship in the morning. Because there's something that doesn't require any technical finesse, no other gizmos. But I've got some great little audio mixers. Um, that'll pair perfect with this microphone and computer and my phone, so that I could do a little mini production thing here in the mornings. It's like, ooh, I want to play this, and I can pop it onto my phone and then play it and share it. Um, and that'll go great for Old Time Radio Wednesdays, which I want to do. I'm sorry that we're not doing it this week. I have the shows ready. They're on my computer. So we'll come back next week on Wednesday, and we'll do an Old Time Radio Wednesday. And I've got some great stuff. I found an episode of Night Beat with Frank Lovejoy, and that's going to be fun. And then we're doing some other episodes of some shows that we've heard before. So that'll be cool. But yeah, I mean, I was playing solitaire here the other night alone. And wouldn't it be neat to be able to play a game here in the morning? I mean, I'm sitting here for 3 hours. That's plenty of time to do a game around a battleship, you know? Uh, yeah, I mean, we can't do anything too heavy back and forth. We could do like chess, right? I've got a really cool chessboard, a 1982 computerized chessboard, right? And that's pretty cool. So I had thought about sitting here playing chess by myself, but that seems kind of boring. And then you guys just sitting here watching me. Gosh, that's real fun. So maybe if I, have a few games and stuff, and it's like, you know what? We got nothing going on this day. Why don't we, so while we're sitting here talking and drinking coffee and shit, why don't we go ahead and play a game? Let's do some Battleship. Battleship's fun, you know, because it doesn't take a whole lot of thinking. You can have a conversation while doing it. The only main important thing is, like most of those weird games, you got to keep track of whose fucking turn it is. And that can become cumbersome, you know, it can be a little difficult, uh, especially if you're having conversation and stuff. So thank goodness the stuff would be live. You could just rewind it real quick and, oh, okay, it's your turn. Yeah, totally. So when our daughter is not bogged down with a lot of work at school, um, and we know that she's going to be up at a reasonable time, we'll make a big breakfast, uh, and and kind of have that waiting when she wakes up, or when she does eventually get up, we'll have some breakfast ideas, because sometimes her breakfast will come at like noon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. right? Um, and I don't fault her for that. Not if she's going to get, better than a 4.0 every year of her academic career. Sleep till 2, If you can then stay up till 4 doing homework and getting projects handed in, you write your own schedule, kid. I'll just sit here and feed you and drive you and do whatever I got to do to make that easy for you. So I like to have different little cool things that I can make for her that I know she really, really enjoys. And one of those is getting those big croissants from Walmart, from the bakery, and cutting them puppies, throwing them down on a griddle, and then cooking up. And you can look on my Facebook channel for some of these photos, cooking them nice, over medium egg next to it, and some big old chunks of ham and some Swiss cheese. And I'll make her this big breakfast sandwich, you know. And I know that that's just brain food. That's just, energy for her to get her shit done and knock out what she's got to do. So I really get into at least a few times a week throwing a really righteous breakfast at her or a really awesome dinner. And I think this week we're going to do some steak tacos. I'll cook up some of that steak meat, real tender, marinated for like cooking like simmering for like hours, right? So you put it in your mouth and it just melts, right? Just shredded to perfection. Ah, 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 ah. Homemade beans and rice and salsa and guacamole and all that shit. Uh, yeah, that'll be fun. And then we get, 2 or 3 days in a row where we're just eating like macaroni and cheese and fish sticks or, something, just a bean and cheese burrito, something quick and easy, because most of the time we're just running around going, oh my God, what's this? Oh no, what's that? So, oh, no coffee. What's that? So, yeah, a few times a week, either mom or me or the both of us will get together and we'll do some really righteous meals, you know. Um, because we don't have the opportunities to spend a lot of time together as a family um, when the main kid is busy constantly. You know, so even if it's just her coming in to make a plate and going back to do her stuff, at least I can do that and give her that and have that going on. You know, pleases the fucking pants off of me to do that kind of stuff. I love, you know, making that that meal that just puts a smile on someone's face. In fact, we've got that coming up in a few weeks. We're going to be doing the night after my daughter's graduation. We're going to be doing a graduation party. Um, and you're all more than welcome to come if you can make it. It's yeah, 24th, Friday. Is that what it is? What is that day? Uh, our, yeah, the 24th of this month, May 24th, uh, was my daughter's graduation party. She's going to have a bunch of friends there. We're going to have some family friends there, and it'd be nice if somebody from out of town were to make it, but I'm not going to go there because we live so far away that I don't like to ask people to come and then be real bummed out when they don't show up, even though that I know full well that we're too far away, right? But we're going to have this big to do, and we're going to make food, which is the whole point of my little uh, blah 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 here. And I think the plan right now is to roast 2 whole chickens, right? And then bone those 2 chickens and use that chicken meat for suizas, which is a green salsa enchilada uh, deal. Chicken cheese enchiladas with this green um, this green sauce, this green enchilada sauce, Suizes, and it's a creamy green, and then you're gonna have beans and rice and salsa and guacamole and chips and whatever else we can think of to go with. It's probably going to be like pico de gallo and chips with the guacamole for the chips, and then there'll be the Suiza sauce for the enchiladas, and then there'll probably be some other kind of hot s- homemade sauce type stuff. Um, and then whatever other kind of hors d'oeuvre stuff we'll come up with. It'll probably be some kind of fruit and or vegetable um, hors d'oeuvre thing. And then come up with a really cool dessert. My daughter loves those frozen chocolate mud pie type things, really decadent. You can only have a thin slice because it's just so, oh man, this is sweet. One of those kind. It takes a couple hours to thaw out in the fridge, and then it's just like perfect, like a graham cracker crust and like a chocolate mousse type filling, and then like a creamy coconutty, nutty type chocolatey flaky thing on top. So yeah, stuff like that. Uh, and then we'll probably have some beer and some wine uh, because we can do that. We'll probably have a little bit of music. We'll probably have a few friends over that are musical, and we'll do a little bit of this and that. I may play a song or two. Hopefully, we can hear some of David's stuff this time. And then I'm not sure who else is going to be up for coming over and hanging out. Um, we actually don't know too many people up here in the desert. My daughter has a lot of friends. My wife has a lot of friends. I got a few friends. Are there many of those that actually know my daughter and are really good friends with my daughter? Not really. You know, we've got a few really close friends who I'm glad are going to be there, and my daughter's close friends. I don't think anyone from out of town is going to be here. Uh, I think my wife's family are all going to be out of town already, elsewhere. So we probably won't get any there. And then my siblings live elsewhere, and one's too far, and one I just wouldn't bother to ask. Um, and uh, and that's about that for my side of the family. So yeah, for me, it's important to have a few people there at the party who are local, who know my daughter and know uh, of her achievements and have been around to see her grow. You know, and David and his wife and daughters, they are those people. They are probably the closest people we have out here, considered family friends, people who are so close that they are family, even though they're just friends. See, like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Um, yeah. J12. But totally. I wonder where we can find a Battleship game. You know what? Probably Walmart. Probably Walmart. I would try to avoid one of those, what you call it, Star Wars versions of Battleship, or, stick with the original. What are those, Barker Brothers or Milton Bradley? Probably Milton Bradley. One of the original games, eBay, thrift shops, swap meets, or check Walmart or Toys R Us for one of the original versions, like the original version of Monopoly. I think Monopoly would be too weird to get into doing in a setting like this, but I think Battleship and games like Battleship, turn-based games, tit for tat. I think those games are something that I can do not just with one person, but with multiple people, and have multiple people losing battleships and throwing stuff at me. Right? And it would have to be, okay, it's my turn and then your turn. Okay, my turn and then your turn, and my turn and then your turn. So if I'm playing against four people, right, then they're taking turns battling me, right? I call out something that affects all of them. One of them calls out an attack on me for their group. And then, okay, now it's your turn. You call out one for your group. Now you call out one for your group, all right? Me, then one of them, then me, then the next of them, then me, then the next of them. And I think if we get into a rotation thing like that, it would be easy to play in a group setting, battleship, you know, live like this. Why not? It's my show. I can make up the rules, damn it. Play the game. Look, special effects. Hey, Marge, he's hallucinating again. Leave him alone, Harry. He's got imagination. Yeah. Well, I can't drink any more coffee because then my wife will have none, and I'll have to make some more. So that's out. Uh, Thankfully for me, because I'm going to have to take my pills here and eat something. It's almost 8 o'clock, which means I gotta put the kibosh on at 8 o'clock here and get my shit together and start doing something. Um, I think what I'll probably do is just since all the dogs are asleep, I'll open up my door here and bring a bunch of crap in from the van and throw it out on my floor here so that I can kind of organize it, right? And then get it back into the van. And because at some point today, whether I'm here on the computer working on some kind of graphics for the opening and the closing of the show, and then maybe even working on some kind of commercials for in between for this week's show, right? Just go to the meeting room, Giant Morlock meeting room Facebook channel and grab a bunch of shit from their upcoming shows. And then put together a commercial, talk about pizza and beer and the different things they have there. And get yourself a t-shirt too. And create a nice set of different kinds of commercials for things. Create a morning show commercial so that people know that I'm here in the mornings. Create something for Bush so that they know he's out on the corner with his signs and they know where to find his music and they know this and that. So we can be informative, do some, what do they call those? PSAs, right? Public service announcements. But we can let people know what's going on. Be sure to come back Friday to see this group playing. You know, if you're hungry, be sure to get yourself some pizza. We got a special right now, right? You know, buy 2 pizzas and a pitcher of beer, and you get a T-shirt half off. Hey, yo, bud. I mean, let's get people involved in this whole thing. You know, I mean, I don't want to treat people like consumers. But it would be neat to be able to just have a way to give them the information that they need. And God, this open mic live with commercials and stuff would be a perfect way to do that. You know, it'd be totally cool. It'd be righteous. So let's see, what have I got going on today? I guess if I get Bush to come over at some point, then I'll power up some of these walkie-talkies and test them out because I don't have anybody to test them with. My daughter's always busy. My wife's like, go on, get out of here with your walkie-talkie shit. Jeez, I'm busy knitting. Uh, so yeah, get some walkie-talkies worked out, do some graphics, do some live multi-camera testing with graphics somewhere at some place, some point. And then take some video camera out and record some filler for not only the opening and the closing, but some more filler for the in-between segments. So we can create one big long loop right? That I can just push play, fade to that, and then in between this act and that act, we've got a couple of minutes playing over and over with music in the background, a commercial, yada, yada, yada. And then I can just fade out of that and go back to the cameras, right? Uh, and I'd like to have it at some point, the ability to go anywhere and set up anything live and record as well as go live. Uh, and have all of that easily manageable in my van, right? It's not a van that I have a rack on. It's got a bubble top. So everything I do with the van has got to go in the van. Uh, and if we're going to have a bigger rug or carpet or something for the stage at open mic, it's going to have to be something that's rolled up and left there. If we're going to have extra furniture there to create a set, that stuff is going to have to remain there, and we'll have to get with Linus and create a prop department. Like, okay, here is stuff for Monday Night Live. Here are items to create your stage for your concerts. Here's stuff that we have for other video projects that you do. Because I get the impression that Linus really wants to get into doing video and radio and TV and audio and do more than just have a bar with really good entertainment and pizza, right? And I get the feeling that he, given the opportunity, he's just gonna grab onto something and go with it. So I'm hoping I can be a part of that. Bush can be a part of that. We can kind of, and if not, use this as the catalyst to make something that's our own. Like I said, if we can't make this a go and work out to our satisfaction, well, why not pick a day of the week that's our own, pick a spot and do our own thing and invite our own friends over to do stuff. And that's a possibility. So yeah, uh, I mean, I just see each door leads to another door, and you got to be the one to pick the door and go through it. You know, if there's somebody there saying, "Hey, walk through this door," you usually want to avoid that door. If it's a door that's got cobwebs and dust on it, uh, that might be a door to explore, because chances are all of those 95%, 95 percenters, they're going to be walking through that nice clean door that everybody else is lined up to go through. I want to take that door with no handprints on the knob, that's so dusty, that's so cobwebbed, that you don't know if anybody's been in there in the last friggin' century. That's the door I want to go through. So yeah. Uh, I like adventure, and this whole live thing is an adventure every day. Every morning I sit here, this is an adventure. I don't know what can happen. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, where we're going to go, who's going to pop on, where it's going to lead us, what rabbit hole we're going to go down, you know. Uh, and that's pretty cool. And then the more technically that I learn about what I can do on my computer while I'm live with minimal amount of stuff, this morning thing is going to get a little more intricate, but I don't want to just go, wow, check this out, and then have it, become too much and too cumbersome. So Wednesday, old time radio Wednesdays, yes, keeper. Am I going to be introducing some slides and stuff up onto the screen? Yes, that idea is a keeper. At some point, I'll be able to say, oh, by the way, I was thinking of this, and check this out. And then I'll throw up a picture for everybody to look at. Am I going to do movie Mondays and TV Tuesdays and throwback Thursdays and all this other? No, I'm not going to get into that. That's all too. I think I'll save those for individual segments and elements of the channel as a whole, rather than parts of something that's really already complete. Right? That's the way I see that. So let's see, what do we got? We got about 15 minutes left. And then I'm gonna have to get into some food and some medication. Medication time. Medication time. And then let's see. I think I'm probably gonna throw everything on my floor here and organize my van stuff here before I clean up this room and vacuum and dust and do all of that. But I've got to do that too. I try to do it at least once a week. Being out here in the desert, if you don't, it just builds up, and then pretty soon you're squinting to see the TV through just an eighth of an inch of dust. Uh, or you set something down on back here on one of these shelves, and you set something down, and it's like you know. Your foot walking through flour, it's just big clouds billowing. So yeah, I got to stay on top of the dust, and because I got 4 dogs, I got to stay on top of the hair on the carpet, and then Febreze to make it all foo-fooey, smelly, pretty. Uh, Somebody walked by, so I got to get into the cleaning. Got to clean and organize my little abode. I got to clean and organize the van, and then man. I really, really, really got to spend the next couple of days just focusing on um, live technique. You know, uh, I've got to rewire my computer and mixer and everything to each other so that I can utilize the graphics on both computers. And that's the learning curve right there. I've never done it, don't know how to do it. They don't say too much about how to do it in the manual, which is an Adobe thing, which means I'm going to have to watch training videos, their training videos, YouTube training videos, that kind of stuff. Uh, so that's going to be and it's really hard to sit and take the time to watch these things and to invest your time into all of these little things. It pays off, but man, it's a bummer to kill that time. When I've got so many other things going on, and then it it kind of brings you down. It's like, oh wow, after 2 hours of watching these videos, I don't really want to do anything else. I'm kind of tired. I don't want to look at the screen anymore. Whereas video editing, I can sit at a screen and edit videos for like 3 days straight, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and just like, give me more. But when I've got to watch somebody else's stuff over and over and this and that, you know I really need to get into on a regular basis. Okay, today I'm going to sit and I'm going to learn this, this, and this, and then I'm going to next week I'm going to learn this aspect of that. And just try to let it grow a little bit, um, and learn how to use these programs. I just um, downloaded um, one of the programs from the Da Vinci program, Da Vinci 18.9, I think. And it's the free version software of the Da Vinci program for Blackmagic Studios. And for everything that they do, there's training videos, right? So I really have to be diligent in learning the information that I need to learn to facilitate a better show. And it all relies on you know my willingness to sit and devote the time to that. So yeah, and I've been really laxed in my stick-to-itiveness, right? I haven't really been um, staying on program, staying online with what I got to do to make this work out. And I think that goes right back to the last month and a half, 2 months. of just kind of being out of it mentally, you know. Uh, my head's so scattered and I was so tired and so exhausted and not really feeling it. And then, of course, realizing that it had something to do with this infection and my health and whatnot. So I think one good sign is I'm back to making lists and checking off parts of that list rather than making a list and then setting it aside and forgetting about it. So now I'm in the groove now of making a list and then working on that list, right? Taking my post-its, consolidating them into a to-do list, and then checking them off. And by creating my two checklists, I think uh, I've taken a step in the right direction. That's funny. There you go. So Cole Meany, the guy who played Miles O'Brien, Chief Miles O'Brien on Star Trek: The Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine, right? So there's this picture of him and Dr. Bashir from DS9, and during an episode of DS9, they time traveled back to the original Enterprise, and they put themselves into an episode, The Trouble with Tribbles, right? So there's this double episode going on during that, and my comment was, they said caption this moment from Deep Space Nine, and my comment was, "Damn it, O'Brien, I'm a doctor, not a time traveler," right? And of course, Colmini liked that, so that's pretty cool. I like that. I like the fact that the actual artist or actor or whoever actually saw it and made a comment. I mean, I don't get all weird about it. I just think it's like highly amusing, especially when I'm pretty 99% sure that it's the actual artist and not some fool coming along saying, "I'm the official page. I really am the official guy." And then as soon as you click on it and see, gosh, who are you? They try to sell you some fucking garbage. You want to buy tickets? You want to buy shirt? You want to buy this? And you realize it's not them. It's just some other third party entity trying to suckle off of their, you know, uh, off of their popularity, off of their celebrityism, their celebrity. So now I don't. I get a lot of people coming after me saying I'm the official this or that, and you have to like me. And my favorite one is to do uh, there's a private chat with this person. This ain't that person, man. This is bullshit. I mean, usually when it's that person, it's a personal secretary, right? Uh, and sometimes that's as close as you're going to get. Other times when they're not that popular, you know that it's probably them and they're on there trying to seek some kind of validation, or wanting to be remembered. Like, hey, remember me? I used to be famous. And it's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, you're there. Totally. Hey, see you later, brother. Joey, have a good night. Take it easy. Um, I'll see you next Monday, this Monday coming up. Uh, and then that Monday night, we'll be doing open mic. And I will be there super early with bells on, and we'll sometime after 6. We'll be doing live sound checks on YouTube. And I'm not sure if we're just going to do a live sound check and then go right into the show, or do separate sound checks and then stop and then go into the show. Probably the latter. So I'll see you there. At some point this morning, I'm going to get my act together and get together with Bush. And at some point this morning, I'm going to get my act together and get that van straightened out, get my home straightened out. And if my world is organized, then I can usually organize my life a little bit better. So I gotta work on that this morning. Get everything tidied up, everything in its place, and a place for everything. Take care, brother. Talk to you soon. Have a good night. Peace and love. But yeah, I'll be headed on out of here really, really quick. It's 5 to 8 here on the Pacific Coast, Pacific Standard Time. Some of you all are further away and you're in different time zones, and I'm not sorry about that. I don't control these things, you know. They're just like beyond my realm of control. I cannot control time. I can in my own head, but not in yours, man. You got to time travel your own way, man. I can help. I can show you the door, but you got to go through yourself, man. You got to open it up and walk through, man. All right? All right. As long as we're understanding each other, where's my, oh, here it is. Then everything's gonna be all right. One of those movies that I really, really like is My Science Project. That's a fun movie. It's a weird, goofy movie. Uh, no major actors in it, except for that one guy. That one guy that does that one movie. That guy's in it. All right. Um, so it's just a really cool movie. Kid has to do a science project. He goes to an Air Force base, falls in a hole, winds up in a nuclear fallout bunker, and finds this device that they had pulled off of a UFO, decades earlier. And so he uses this device, which is supposed to be like um, a dimensional time shift engine, right? And so he thinks he's going to clean it up, use it for a science project, and it winds up taking him through these dimensional doorways and bringing the past and the parallel dimensions together, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy, but it's fun. So that's my room here. My room is like my dimensional time shift portal place where I use the stimuli around me to kind of do a Christopher Reeves and Somewhere in Time, right? Where he uses that penny to time travel, you know. Uh, there's a heavy movie. Y'all should check that out. I think I got it on Betamax or something somewhere, or maybe I think I have the soundtrack too. Don't look at my belly. Stop it. Look at Mickey's feet. You cheeky monkey weirdos. I'm not here to amuse you. Ah, all right, maybe a little. Yeah. All right, people. I'm gonna do a hit for the road here, and then start thinking about probably making some breakfast sandwiches. My wife will be up soon, and I'll get her fed, coffeeed up, and then I don't know what the fuck's going on today. I might have to go to a house and change a toilet plunger assembly thing. Uh, but other than that, I don't think I got too much going on. I've got to order a needle and cartridge, stylus cartridge thing for a turntable for one of the houses, so that the people who show up can listen to records. That's something that I would like to have at every one of our every Airbnb that we take care of. I'd like to have a turntable and a little stack of records. Right. At one house, I would like to have the whole time travel trip. Right. VCR, tapes, turntable. You know, beaded doorways and Malmac, Melmac dishware, and flower patterns and bean bags and handmade throw rugs and shit, old 70s, 80s shit. I want a whole house devoted to that. So when you walk in the house, you're going, wow, wow, I'm back, way back. I'd love to have a place like that. I'd love to take care of it, dress it, take care of everything. That'd be bitching. I'd make some fucking money right there. That would be it. Always booked, always.
have the garage decked out, the rec room. That'd be bitching. All right, people. Peace, love, the past. Take care. I will see you on the flip flop. That means Monday. Um, it's also possible that you'll see me here live at any point between now and Monday morning. This is Friday, so sometime today, tonight, tomorrow, at any point during this weekend, if I'm not working, I'll probably be working on this and bringing something live to you. I may decide to go record stuff with Bush live to test out our recording ability and do it simultaneously going live so that we can test out stuff and get some footage to create some kind of opening segment. All right. So wish me luck, people. And I will see you here Monday morning, hopefully with some better sound so that we can do some more. I'll even try to add in some sound effects. So at least we can have, this type of setting a little bit more, and especially so I want to be able to bring you some sound and some pictures occasionally, a little sound, a little video. Nothing major. I don't want to get in too deep to anything, any regular stuff. But yeah, come on back Monday and we'll do this again. And peace, love. This is crazy old weird bearded guy signing out, and I will see you all real soon. Bye bye.